All right, so with all this crazy shit going on right now in the world, we got the Iran thing again. Now we're talking about nukes, all kinds of nuts with China and Russia getting involved. So I want to know. We're gonna hit Lenormand Tarot here. Top line is what they want you to believe. Like, will Iran hit us or not, or somebody else? And the actuality down below. So let's kind of see what the cards have to say for us today. All right. So again, top line's about what they need people to believe. Trump, holy fuck. So we see here that Trump's in the middle of this. This is your querent card, the 28, and I'm just surprised that popped up like that. I mean, the first card, how could you even make that shit up, right? So it's telling you that they want you to believe that Trump is in total control, and because of his actions, is going to drive a reaction from Iran. There'll be pain. Will they nuke us? And it's going to be around the oligarchs. So it almost seems like they want you to believe that Iran's going to come into power with Russia and China, and they're going to come together and talk about it and hit America, Trump, and hit our networks. This even could be like an attack against our digital areas, our food pipelines, something they control. And right now, if you remember, a couple years back, Biden gave China complete control over infrastructure, and Trump here has given India complete control over infrastructure and our data. So we're kind of in a really precarious position right now. So it looks like they want you to think that Iran is going to hit us, but it may not be a nuke. It's looking more like infrastructure is what I'm kind of seeing. So see the cities here in the card? It almost feels like it's big cities. And when you look at the one and the six, you're surround. They're looking for the weakest link. So probably be somewhere along the ocean where you're hitting coming into docks. So maybe like a port in Oakland, a port maybe in New York, a port maybe in Washington State. That's also where the nuclear bases are at, where the nuclear submarines are at, I believe, is in the Washington area. And so it looks like they're going to hit that. But then to the star there, it kind of does remind me of an explosion above a city. So it feels like they want you to think that Iran is going to retaliate. Now, it also could be with sleeper cells because over the last couple of years, what has Biden let into the country? Muslims across the border, military-aged men, and we have warned and warned and warned and we're ignored. Actually, we were silenced for that. I was censored and banned. And they're going to think that it's a gift to the world by taking out the great Satan, America. That's the line they want you to believe. That's what they want you to believe, that Trump caused this. And the pain they're going to bring to America is a gift to the entire world to basically eradicate the United States, and that they're going to work together with the oligarchs. See, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but this is kind of like China, Russia. If you look at it and what they want you to believe, working together to basically take down infrastructure or an explosion or something like that. I'm seeing a false flag attack, but anyway, they want you to believe there's going to be an attack. That's what I'm reading here. Now, what is the reality of this? Will Iran do it? The heart. I would say no, because when you look at this card here, the heart of the matter is around love, compassion, and things like that. So it's not really Iran. What it is Trump. See how it comes right up above him? Is Trump going to have assets, bad actors on the ground hit America? It won't be a foreign asset. It'll be a U.S. asset doing it on behalf of a foreign nation. Kind of like the whole thing with 9/11. Same kind of vibe I'm feeling right now. See, oh my, holy fuck. What's that? Rats. Who are the rats? Well, it's not Iran. That's top line. This is America. Bottom line. It's us hitting ourselves. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is a ring. What's a ring? Ring's a commitment, correct? It's a cycle. So it's a 25, 2, 7. The 2 energy is what? A decision they have to make to bring 5, destruction. And out of the destruction, they have a 7. They're going to set to see how they can raise up the heart of the American people because they're going to use it to hit ourselves. They're going to hit a city. And rats, what are rats? They're bad actors. They're assets, foreign assets on U.S. soil, backed by 3 agencies to basically plan an attack. How? Through the government. I'm not liking this at all. So keep going. Oh, boy. And then the heart of the matter is going to bring America under a lot of challenges. This is an inside job, like Mount Rushmore kind of I'm feeling here, which tells me it's an American doing this to America. So they're going to blame it on another actor when it's them doing it here to ourselves. And it's a 31. This is so crazy. Sorry, 21. So again, look at this, right? A 2 is a decision. A 2 is a decision, 23. A 2 is a decision, 25. 2 and 3 is 5, calamity. 2 decisions and 5, chaos, destruction. 2 and a 4, decisions to bring stability of peace, which is a 6. And then a 2 and a 1 is a 3, use the media for communication to spin the narrative how they want. This is insane, my friends. And then last but not least, by America being hit by America, blaming another foreign national on something they're going to do to ourselves, it'll bring peace and prosperity. People will feel the need to look for a new king, right? So what they always say when you have tyrants ruling things, they create a problem and they give you the solution. That's what I'm seeing. So I don't see Iran really acting out of Russia. Because, here's the thing too. People have such short memory. A few weeks ago, Russia came out and said, we're not going to get involved in this. They didn't want to deal with it. And then all of a sudden, I'm seeing the news now spinning like, oh, Russia's getting involved with China. So again, everything you see is propaganda. And that's what this line is showing you. I am seeing Trump behind all of this, orchestrating it. Why? On behalf of the elite. To basically collapse our economy. For why? To bring in a new system. The ring. A new change. The mountains. To bring in a new change of happiness. What is that? Is digital. They need to collapse everything in order to bring in a digital currency and wipe out what we know today. So I don't think Iran is actually behind this. But let me roll a dice here. We get a 10. That is insane. It's a cycle. 2 5s, right? From chaos, it brings peace. 5, freedom. Through 10, through a cycle of devastation. So they're going to hit something. And it's going to be a city, because this card right here, I'm feeling a city getting hit. Something like that. It's pretty wild, but I want to say Trump's behind this. And the thing that really bothers me is people don't remember who this guy is, And again, just because you hear me speak like this, I am not liberal. I am not left. I am not right. I am a constitutionalist, and I defend the Constitution. And when I see actors, whether they're left or right, go against what our founding fathers have said, I can't sit here silent. And just because you are involved in the Trump cult or a Biden cult or a Democrat cult or Republican cult, you can't do that, because lesser of two evils, like I said in the reading yesterday, is just evil. And also make sure you watch that reading, because it's really important as it ties into this one. Okay? So what does Tarot got to say for us? Let's see. Let's see what the Tarot has to say for us. Oh, friends, I'm not digging this at all. The 8 of Swords. Doesn't it look like you've been attacked? No food? Didn't I say that earlier about supply chain being hit and hacked? And by the way, the supply chain was hit a few weeks ago. I think it was 4 weeks ago. The main player for food distribution in the United States supposedly got hit, but it wasn't. It was inside that was done by, I can guarantee you that. And it brought down the food. And right there you see somebody starving, right? Caught up in a rib cage behind a heart. It's almost like they have no path forward, and they're believing the propaganda so hard that whatever the media tells them, they're going to believe it. They believe the lie all the time. And so they put themselves in a cage. You see how he's basically blocked off in his own cage? Because his own mind, the sword's there, he's trying to reach it but can't grab it. Because he believes a lie. And what's here? Right? The rats and the cross. So the rats, which would be Trump and the Democrats, Republicans, all working together as one team to bring down the House, to bring up a new savior, Trump. This is not an Iran thing. It's not. So if we get hit, it's going to be orchestrated by this guy right here in the middle. Then you have the 9 of Swords. People are sick. They're hurt. Well, what would an attack do? Make people sick? So yeah, something's going to happen. I'm feeling it big time. And the 9 of Swords, some of it will be self-inflicted as well. People are going to get caught up in the chaos, and they're going to just going insane. That's what I'm feeling here with the 9 of Swords. And then we have the 4 of Hazards. The 4 of Hazards. Food, that's your supply. And the only way you can find some peace when things turn to hell, turn to shit, is lock and load, right? That's what it's kind of showing here. You have food stocked up there, stockpiled. You have, people trying to get in, get food, and you're ignoring them. Like, no, I can't hear you. I'm only looking out for myself. And that's what they need. They're banking on the American people to ignore everybody else, only think about themselves. Don't even think about your neighbor, and that's the problem. We have to stop doing that, because they know that if we unite, they can't win. So what's going on here? We're not uniting, so therefore they can win. And they're going to cause complete chaos. 9/11, man. Come on, think about it. What happened during that? I remember seeing it drop. I remember when that thing went down and people were panicking. That's going to happen right now. They need a serious event to bring in the change. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Remember that? Raw manual. All right. So, next card is the Ace of Hazards. New things, new things, new things of the earth, a new system, a new way to have wealth. Look at the card. See that? It's a new way to have wealth. How is that? Through digital currency. A16Z is now in charge of the digital currency through the Trump administration. Look it up. They gave him 50 million. Look what their background is. Then you have Palantir. Trump also said to allow them to have a database on all the American people. Why is that? To track them digitally for you, what you can and cannot have. That's what I'm seeing here with the Ace. This is the Pentacle card, by the way. The Ace. And he has put big tech, oligarchs, but it's supposed to be China and Russia, but it's not. It's the oligarchs, big tech, as colonels. I forget the actual position, but it was colonel level, high level, ranking military officials in the reserves for technology. That should scare the shit out of you. And the last card, the 10, the 2 of Wands, roadblock. People don't know what to do because they're confused. It's basically taking the fire out of them. It's destroying their will to move forward. And they don't know how to move forward because they're confused, because they buy the propaganda that's been fed to them for years on end. And so, yes, I do not believe it will be Iran that does this, but I do believe there will be some type of false flag thing coming pretty fast and quick, and it's going to hit us pretty hard. And it's going to be this guy right there. That's what I believe. That's what the cards are kind of telling me. So you make up your own mind about this, but don't you dare call me a liberal or a Democrat or anything, because I'm not. Don't even call me a Republican at this point, because they don't even exist. Because red and blue equals purple, the color of kings. And right now, they're two sides of the same coin. Boy, it's funny. These cards just come up the way they have. Last night, it was the same type of nefarious vibe, too. This is my deck called Hidden Clues Oracle. I want to pull a few cards to see what it has to say for us. Past and present. Look to the past and come to the present. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying Iran doesn't have problems. I know the Muslim Brotherhood is really horrible. That's the past, because in the past, Iran was a great country because it wasn't under Muslim Brotherhood. You know who did that? Jimmy Carter did. He destroyed those people and put people into slavery under Islam. That's the present today. So now you got to have an enemy. Delusions, false reality. When the attack happens, or an attack happens, if it does, it's a delusion. It's a false reality. Now, again, I don't know if there's going to be bombs bursting in air, but I do see something going to happen. This card here kind of clarifies that, but it will not be a foreign enemy. It will be bad actors or U.S. assets having foreign nationals move on their behalf to make a change. It's kind of like a color revolution I'm feeling here. It's not good, but it's delusion, false reality, which is definitely happening. Look at the details. Look for the clues. What do you see? What do you see? Not what you hear. Not what you see with your eyes. What are the details? Look at the details. Look at the players. You'll see what's going on. Dominance, checkmate. How can they bring about this change of digital currency? They have to collapse the old system, put it in checkmate through dominance, through power. You need an attack of massive proportions to bring down the house. You need an 9/11 style event to happen in order for a checkmate to happen and dominance to overrule. And the last card is investigate. Don't believe anything you hear, because they need you to. They need you to fight against your neighbors, fight against Republican, Democrat, liberal, whatever. Don't do it. Be the detective, investigate, and really understand what's going on, because they are banking on your ignorance. Don't let them have that. Not this time around. It's time for us to wake up, because if they get another Patriot Act type of bill passed through, your freedoms are over. That bill was so demonic under Bush. Took away all of our freedoms. And you know what's funny too? Democrats do the most damage to the country because people believe and think they're of freedom, but they're not. They're actually worse than any Democrat, unfortunately, these days. They're all rhinos. And one more point on Trump, and you need to research this, but he was nailed many years ago in New York on a lawsuit with George Soros. I think it was a RICO Act case or something like that. You'll find it, State of New York versus George Soros and Donald Trump. This is a long time ago before he was actually a political figure because he was in cahoots with Soros. So don't you think he changes? Lepers do never change their spots. Also, best friends with the Clintons. Always has been. He's always voted on the Democrat ticket. And look what he's doing today. Now he's back in Israel. Why? Well, who's in charge of A16Z? Who's in charge of BlackRock? Who's in charge of other organizations? Who's in charge of Pfizer? Not Americans. Who are they? Who are they? That tells you who controls the White House. It ain't Americans. It isn't the American people. It's a foreign national, and it isn't Iran. It isn't India. But the people who control it are causing all-time havoc and hell on our economy and our country. Anyway, that's the read. Take it as you will. Drop your thoughts. Do what you gotta do. If you want me to do a reading for you, you want me to help unlock the darkness and bring the light out, like I'm doing right here today, let me know. I'm more than happy to do a reading for you. I do private readings, and the link's in the description below. And until next time, I want to thank each of you for watching this quick reading with me, this Lenormand Tarot and my Oracle card deck with some dice there. And I want to see you in the next video. All right. See y'all later. Bye-bye now.